It appears that I'm live. Hello. Hello, Fleet Fest 2017. How's it going? Hope y'all are ready to watch a weird game, so I'm gonna give it to you. Alright, let's get this show on the road here. Just waiting for the go-ahead. Oh, you were saying so in Twitch chat. Oh, I have Discord open. Got you. Okay. It's all good. Okay. Alright, 3, 2, 1, speed. Alright, let's go. Oh, crap. Alright, good start. Alright, speedrun starts now. There we go. Hey. Alright, so this is Hylics. It's a game that came out on itch.io and Steam back in 2015. It's like an experimental RPG. Kind of takes some pages from the JRPG textbook and kind of throws them through this really bizarro, like, claymation style lens. So you play as this guy. He's wearing a black suit. He's got a crescent moon for a head, and his name is Wayne. And we don't really know what's going on with Wayne because the text in this game is mostly randomly generated. What we can surmise based on playing this game repeatedly and just digging for meaning is that Wayne is on like this spiritual quest, but there's this evil Moon King that's kind of cramping his vibe. So we have to stop the evil Moon King Gibby and attain spiritual enlightenment, whatever form that might take. But before we can go to the moon, we have to, like, you know, pick up some friends, get some money, because going to the moon ain't cheap, right? So we got some stuff to do on this terrestrial plane before we transcend and enter the realm of outer space. So I'm in this, like, weird dream world right now. It's just sort of the road to my friend's house. I'm visiting my friend Samsnosa, who lives just down the street from me. So we're gonna go to Samsnosa's house and pay her a visit. She's kind of bummed and, like, laying on her couch because she can't find her magic gauntlets anywhere. And we need to get her off the couch because she needs to come along with us. So we're gonna find her magic gauntlets for her, and hopefully that'll encourage her to get off the couch and tag along. The speedrunning community for this game's pretty small. Prior to me picking this up, there were 2 entries on the speedrun.com leaderboard, and I found some route changes and improved the world record by like 7 minutes. so I brought it down from like a mid 28 to like a 22 something, and I've since optimized it a little bit more. So we got the magic gauntlets, we got Samsnosa, that's Samsnosa, and we're learning a move now called Bubbles. Every time we talk to a TV, we learn a new move, kind of like real life. So we just learned a move called Bubbles. It's like a poison attack. Now I'm going to walk into these guys and do a death warp. Since I picked this game up, some other guy named the Flying Marlin's come along. And he's sort of worked on the route as well. So yeah, so he's kind of my competition right now. It's a small playing field, but, you know, we all come together through a shared love of this very strange game. So with Samsnosa in tow, our next stop is to pick up our friend Duduzmalm. And Duduzmalm lives atop this mountain up here in a tent. And Dudesmaln is on a quest to find a paper cup, but he can't find paper cups anywhere, so we gotta find him a paper cup. It's like an archaeological dig of his, apparently, to find paper cups. Turns out there's some just chilling in his tent. This is called paper cup duping, and we don't think that's supposed to happen, where you can just like get as many paper cups as you want. But we use the paper cups here to access water coolers throughout the game. And water coolers give us a little MP boost, which will be useful for special attacks in battle. So we have to Dudesmaln now. We found him a paper cup, and he's like, "All right, I'll tag along." So with that in mind, let's do this. This is another death warp here. Oops, I'm doing this out of sequence. It's been a while. There we go. This should do it. So we know exactly like what this enemy's moveset is, which makes for a fast death warp. Again, this is just a faster way of traveling through the overworld to like kind of go to the afterlife and then just, you know, hit a checkpoint and then return to a little bit closer to where we're going next. So yeah. So with Dudesmaln and Samsnosa now, I'm going to take a nap here and regain all my health, which in this game is called Flesh, and my MP, which is called Will. And now we're going to kind of circle back a little bit and head off to our first major boss fight. We're off to fight the Horrid Projection. Now the Horrid Projection, he comes to life because like we want to get out of this like sort of main area that we're in right now. It's kind of like our hometown, basically. And to do that, we need access to a boat. But we can't leave the harbor because there's a gate up. And the Horrid Projection is like the security against people accessing the harbor gate without authorized permission. So we're going to have a pretty nasty encounter with him right here. Hopefully I live. He's kind of a toughie because we haven't really upgraded yet. So hopefully this goes okay. So I'm going to do... I'm going to bubbles him. There we go. And Space Shurikens, which is a double attack. Get his guard down first here. That should... let's see here. Yeah, we'll do this. Alright, so the guard's dead. That's good. Now we're just going to basically spam attack until he dies, which should be soon, provided he doesn't heal. And he does heal sometimes. Alright. So we took down the Horrid Projection. Now we can ride our yacht anywhere we like, which is pretty sick. And we're going to be taking our yacht somewhere quite unusual, if you can believe it. In just a minute. I'm doing the last death warp of the run right now. This is actually a cutscene skip. Basically, if we just die to these guys, then it brings us to the afterlife, and we can skip this like Act 2 cutscene that occurs once we hit a certain checkpoint. We're just gonna bypass that though and go back to Wayne's house instead. Okay. So now we got our boat. So we've kind of talked about some like fan theories as to what's going on in this game, because Lord knows what's actually going on. And my theory is that Wayne is like the fallen prince of the moon, and the only way that he can regain his honor is if he takes his father out, and his father is the evil Moon King Gibby. So we're trying to recruit our friends here on our request for on our quest for vengeance, basically, to reinstate our position as Moon royalty. We believe that my belief anyways, I don't know if other people subscribe to this, but my belief is that we've been banished to this like terrestrial area, whatever it is. If you want to call it Earth, we can call it Earth. So now, yeah, it's our job to get back to the moon. Basically to serve justice against our father who has wronged us. But who knows what's really going on? I don't know. It's just kind of a wacky game. Alright, so we're going to learn a move here called Health Chant. health chant basically allows us to restore some of our HP in battle, which is pretty useful, because otherwise we'd have to like pick up items for that, and that kind of takes a lot of time. We'd have to like grind a little bit, and grinding takes quite a bit of time in a speedrun. We actually don't do any non-boss encounters in this game if we can help it. So there's like all these opportunities to like, you know, to earn items and like prepare yourself more for these major battles, but instead we're like, nah, I'm just gonna wing it. Alright, so yeah, so I just took everybody to this like graveyard. We flipped a bunch of switches, and now I'm gonna enter this crypt up here. We're actually gonna do kind of a cool skip at the end of this room. I think it's cool anyways. I don't know what y'all are gonna think, but I think it's cool. Hey.
How's it going?
It's great. Alright, so I just picked up a demon skull there. We're gonna use that to... We're gonna pawn that off once we finally do some upgrades. The magic number right now is like 3,000 bucks, which I think we just hit by getting the demon skull. That'll be useful for like weapon and shields upgrades for battles, because eventually we're gonna hit a point where like we actually can't progress unless we finally decide to upgrade. Alright, so this is called the veggie skip. I'm going to dodge both of these seemingly mandatory encounters by waiting for their walk cycles to desync just a little bit. I'm gonna give it one more cycle. I think this should do it. Okay, so I kind of messed up, but there's a way out of this. I'm just gonna go down here. One more encounter should do it. Great. Okay, so if I ran into the pink guy there, I would have been forced into an encounter that I couldn't escape, which would have totally killed me, because these guys are ill-equipped to fight that guy. But yeah, we can do that skip by letting their walk cycles desync, which is kind of cool. And this is like a death room where these statues come to life and they've got your number. This room killed me so many times on my first playthrough, dude. It was nuts. So with that, we just triggered the Act 3 cutscene. We're already in the final stage of the game. When you know what you're doing, this game goes quickly. My first playthrough probably took like 4 or 5 hours because it's like completely unclear what you're supposed to do from like start to finish, basically. I mean, it gives you some directions if you really think about what some of the NPCs say, but your results may vary. Alright, so now we have this cool ship, you know, a staple of RPGs. You gotta have an airship in your RPG. So now we're finally doing our first round of upgrades before the next battle. We've reached the point where we gotta actually, you know, buff up a little bit. So I'm gonna sell off the demon skull, and I'm gonna buy a bad juju, which I'll explain that in a minute, and turbo tendons. So bad juju increases our likelihood that we will commit a poison attack for whomever that's equipped on. Some armor here for Wayne. And turbo tendons, the other special item that I bought, that's like a double weapon equip item. So I'm going to give that to Deduzmal and give him a couple of pretty powerful weapons. So let's mosey on over to the weapon shop here. Just strolling along. Dude, how good is Wayne's walk cycle, though? I love it. Everybody's walk cycle in this game is kind of amazing. Okay, 2 dirks. And now we're going to do some equips. So, oh, who gets what? Okay, so Wayne gets the dirk and the combat bell. Snosa gets the bad juju, and Deduzmal gets the turbo tendons and the double dirk. Great, so everybody's a little bit more powerful, ready for the next thing that comes their way. I just healed up there, took a quick bath to restore my flesh and will, as the game will put it. So yeah, we're off to get our last member of the party before we can ship off to the moon. This guy's name is Pangorma. He lives in this cool seashell. We have to do this really tricky puzzle here to get access to his house. That code is actually given to you in another area in the game. Spoilers. Alright, so now we gotta fight him. And he's fairly easy, but a little bit tricky. We're gonna focus attack his guard first. use Mystic Meat to shield everybody from special attacks here. I'm gonna Health Chant, and we're gonna take this first card out finally. He's down. Okay, so these guys. Okay, so we're gonna do another Health Chant. Oh, are we? Yeah, we're good. Sorry, I just had to double check there. And we're gonna space Shurikens the right guard, take him out. These fights aren't totally scripted, but you can get a sense of how you're gonna do based on, you know, how you come prepared to the battle. Basically, if you play it safe, you can't lose, but you gotta know how to play it safe, so there's definitely some strategy. So Duduzmon's down, that's fine. He should be dead soon. Should be dead soon. There we go, we got him. Alright. So, inexplicably, by killing Pangorma, we got him to join our team. So now he's lagging in the back there, behind Duduzmon. Great. So with him in tow, we're gonna heal up again because we got kind of wrecked there. Duduzmon got hurt, and boy howdy, we're gonna need it for this next fight. I'd say that this fight's probably the hardest one in the game. You're almost inevitably going to lose somebody. Excuse me, cat. Oh my god. Wait, what? Get out of my way. Okay, thanks. Jeez. Cat RNG over here. Alright, whatever. Anyways, what was I saying? Something, I don't know. Okay, anyways, this is Clawman. Clawman has this lab, and we want to get access to his lab, but we don't know the secret password. So he's going to give us a few chances to try to tell him it, but there's no way you can know what it is. You're supposed to fight him here, so we fight him. Alright, so with that, gotta remember what to do here, of course. So yeah, he does this like stupidly powerful attack, so I'm always like in self-defense mode here, basically. Hoping that I don't get wrecked. Yeah, see, he got to Duduzmon there, but I think we should be good soon. I just gotta make it through these next couple of turns in one piece. Ouch. Okay, this is bad. Alright, we're gonna... what do I do? Alright, this is where the emergent strategy comes in here. Alright, we don't have ailment guard. Okay, I'm gonna just risk it for the biscuit here, and we're gonna do a health chant. Alright, Somsnos is dead. This is pretty bad. Alright, what do we do? What do we do? Attack. He's dead. Alright, unbelievable. I was pretty sure I was dead there. So, great. Alright. So Clawman exploded. Whew. Yeah, I'm always like hanging on the edge of my seat during that battle. I have to kind of work on optimizing that because, geez, it's so stressful. So Clawman's lab, it turns out, is like this secret money-making lab, and I just picked up $250,000, and now I'm just gonna sneak on out of here before anybody notices. So yeah, conveniently we have as much money as we need to do whatever upgrades we want, which is fantastic. So we're off to do our final round of equips here. And yeah. So I gotta pick up some shields, some more weapons, and we'll be in good shape. I gotta do some bad jujus here. We're gonna do 11 of everything. Did I actually get them? There we go. Okay, I didn't actually pick them up until I just did that. So we have 11 bad jujus now. I only need 3, or yeah, 3, but it's just faster to menu that way. So 11 torso shells and 11 berry shields, because why not? You can buy like 99 of everything, but it's completely unnecessary because you can't lose your shields or anything. It's not like Breath of the Wild or whatever. I heard that you can lose your shields in Breath of the Wild. Have not confirmed independently though. This game's kind of like Breath of the Wild if you think about it. Alright, so Wayne gets Torso Shell, the Berry Shield, and the Bad Juju. Somsnosa gets just the Berry Shield. Duduzmon gets Bad Juju, a Fork, Berry Shield, and a Torso Shell. And Pangorma just gets the Berry Shield. Alright, so Berry shields are like incredible. They boost your HP by like 200 points. It's amazing. One last bath for old time's sake. Bathing with all my weird friends. And, alright. So, with all the money in the world at our disposal, we are finally able to go to the moon. How time flies. As soon as I buy some hot dogs here, and a ship key. Here's our spaceship up here. The hot dogs will be used in the final battle to restore my entire team's HP, 50%. This guy is like the worst RNG in the run. I just somehow like phased through him. I don't know how that just happened. But you can get stuck there behind the wheel of the spaceship like indefinitely because he's just like walking around, and this game doesn't give you any time to like escape. Like, it gives you like maybe 2 frames before he like encounters you again, which is extremely annoying when you're just starting to speedrun this. But I digress. Alright, so we've made it to Gibby's lair on the moon. And we're gonna pick up a Simmery Axe for Wayne, so make him nice and attack ready. I'm also gonna pick up a juice pack for safety strats here, because, you know, this is a marathon and all. And the run died a long time ago, but anyways. World record is 20:39 right now, and I think we're already like approaching the 20-minute mark, but still a good run. I mean, I didn't die. Any deathless run of this game is kind of a miraculous thing in and of itself, because we don't really play it safe with some of the battle strategy. Lord knows I was fumbling through that Clawman fight. Alright, this is Gibby and his 2 statues. I'm just gonna kind of murmur under my breath during this fight so I can figure out exactly what I'm doing. So pardon that. Panorama to confuse them, partial destruct Gibby to start. I'm gonna start by trying to take out the vital statue, which is the one on the left. Good, they're all confused. The longer they stay confused, the easier this battle will be. Hot dog for safety. Okay. Gibby's still confused. That's good. Awesome. Okay. We're going to do another round of space shurikens, and we're going to do a partial destruct, taking out 25% of Gibby's HP. He loses confusion almost all the time, but sometimes he doesn't, which is fantastic, because we can just wail on him, basically. I'm going to take this opportunity to use a juice pack, space shurikens, the eerie statue on the right, and do a hot dog. Alright, this battle's actually going pretty well so far. Oh shit, I forgot to equip Mystic Meat. This is pretty bad. Okay, okay. Oh, we lost Pongorma, that's bad. Okay. It's not over. But we're in bad shape. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, we're still alive. Pray for me, though. Alright, let's see what to do here. Samsnosa is going to do a hot dog to restore some health. And we're gonna YOLO it here. Okay, good, thank God. Okay. Yeah, you have to keep Mystic Meat up here because these guys just wail on you with the special attacks otherwise. Alright, Gibby's down. Alright, that was a scary, scary fight, but we got there. Alright, we took out Gibby, suddenly we're level 63. Apparently there's a leveling system in this game, I don't know. Anyways, Gibby just died, graphically, and the moon is exploding, so we gotta get out of here. Alright, we fly away. And now Wayne has a brief moment of self-reflection. Finally achieves his moment of spiritual enlightenment, and he says, "But Wayne, youthful, accidentally adrift, manifests the homunculus with the vent product. Despite the sounds, a memory approaches blatantly, but doth our dirt embrace in chemicals? So ends the tale of the mild apparels who sought to hoist, or sort of remarkably sniffed, his skeleton, and time ends when the switch stops moving here. Time. Alright, so we're looking at like a 23-14 on my splits. That was a decent run, actually. Considering that I haven't played this game in a while, and I literally went into this cold. Alright, cool. Yeah, that was fun. Great. So I'm going to switch it up now. I don't know if we want to take a minute